Hey guys, it's Miss Hagan and welcome back to the second episode or video lecture for environmental science. So last time we talked about what the geosphere is and the different layers of the earth. But today what we're going to be talking about is plate tectonics. Woo, plate tectonics. Okay, so let's review. Where are the plate tectonics located? Yeah, they're located in the lithosphere. Okay, that's where we find them, not the asthenosphere. Remember, if we go back to our sprinkle analogy, right? We have the sprinkles that are like the tectonic plates that are found in the lithosphere supported by the asthenosphere. Awesome job, okay? So, anyways, what we're gonna be talking about specifically are the plate tectonics. Now, they're really important. Why are they really important, Miss Hagan? I'm glad you asked that question. They're really important because they are what move the continents and everything around on our Earth. Now, way back in the day, like with dinosaurs back in the day, all of the continents were put together into one big supercontinent, and we called that Pangaea, okay? Yeah, it's Pangaea. Now, through time, Pangaea has broken apart and has moved, and now we have the different continents that we know today. But that's why a lot of the continents like Africa and South America, they go together. They look like they go together. So, pretty cool stuff. But what I really want you guys to know is about the different boundaries for the plate tectonics. Now, there's three different types of boundaries. Okay, the first type of boundary is called convergent. So, convergent. Okay, so convergent is really important because this is where our two tectonic plates or more come together. Now, I'm going to say that they crash into each other. So crash into each other. Okay, so I like to draw pictures, and I think I told you guys on the last video, I'm not a very good drawer, but I do my best, right? So I like to draw the directional arrows for this. So we have two arrows that are going to be pointing at each other, okay, because this represents the two tectonic plates coming together. Now, one way to remember that convergent means coming together or that they're crashing into each other is the con part, okay? They're coming together. Now, that's one type of plate tectonic boundary. Okay, so there's the second one. Now the second one is the opposite of convergent, which is divergent, just like the movie and book. Okay, although these boundaries were named before the movie or book. Big whoop-de-doo. Okay, so divergent. Now divergent, since it does the opposite of convergent, that means that they move away from each other. Okay, so my arrows for this one are going to be the opposite of that. So I'm going to have the pointy end. Wow, that's a weird looking arrow. Very weird. I told you guys, I cannot draw at all. Okay, so they're going away from each other. Okay, so we have them where they're going like this, and we have them where they're going like this. So of course, our third one is going to be doing something completely different. And this is called transform. All right, so transform is where the two discs, they move against each other in a way where it's like they're rubbing against each other. But instead of saying rubbing, because that sounds kind of dirty, we're gonna say that they slip past each other. So they slip past each other. Okay, so we have one going like this. So we can have one pointing up towards north. We could have the other one going towards south. Or we could have one where it's going like this, going west, and then this one can be going east. Okay, so they're slipping past each other. There's one going like this. Oh, crap. or they're going like this, okay? So they're going to be moving away from each other. All right, are we good on the plate boundaries? Awesome. Okay, so let's talk about examples of these different types of plates boundaries that we see on Earth. So convergent is where we can have mountain chains form through this. So one really popular mountain chain that is an example of this is the Himalayas. Okay? And the Himalayas are located between India and China, like in Nepal and all that area. And they are created by the plate that India is on crashing into the plate that Asia is on. So you're literally having the type of motion where it's, I'm not going to lose this marker again. Stay like that. Okay. Where it's literally one coming into the other. And you might have it go down, which pushes it up, or you might have them go like this. So that's why we have mountains. And the Himalayas are continuing to grow every year because the plates are still pushing into each other. Okay. An example of divergent is the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. So Mid-Atlantic Ridge. Now the Mid-Atlantic Ridge is located in the Atlantic Ocean, no duh, okay? And it is where two plates are pulling apart from each other going the opposite way. So when that happens, you have stuff come up. Now, I'm gonna give you guys a really kind of, it's really gross. It's a gross example. It's not a bad example, but it's gross. But it'll work for both of these, okay? So, how many of us have had zits before? I still get zits. I hate adult acne. It sucks, okay? It makes me look even more like one of you guys. But when you pop a zit, there are several different ways you can do it, right? You can push the zit, you could pull it, or you could get like a little needle and poke it, whatever, use your nail. There are just so many different ways, okay? But the ones that we're gonna focus on is when you push it, okay? So that would be like what kind of boundary? Convergent, okay? Because they're pushing together and it makes a little mountain on your skin, okay? Or when you pull it apart, okay, that's divergent. And when you pull it apart, sometimes, depending on how the zit is, you can have it where it actually will have pus come out of it, right? And so that's like magma oozing up through the crack in the earth that is made by this ridge. Okay, I told you guys it was gross. I'm sorry, but you will remember it because it's disgusting. Okay? Now, the transform, an example for transform is the San Andreas Fault, okay, in California. So San Andreas Fault. Okay? Now, there are a lot of, if you have ever lived in California, visited California, been in that type of area, they experience earthquakes a lot more frequently than we do here in Georgia, right? I mean, we had like one a long time ago, and we still don't even know what really happened there. So we have different types of, I guess, events that occur because of the movement on the boundaries. Okay, so I am going to erase this. And while I'm erasing this, I'm going to go ahead and start telling you guys about the different types of things that can happen. In fact, you might already know one. What do you think one is? Okay, if you said earthquake, you would be correct. Okay, earthquakes happen at what kind of fault? I know you know it. Come on. San Andreas Fault. We can do this. You're right. Transform. They happen at a transform boundary. Okay? And earthquakes are measured on the Richter scale, so they're measured by magnitude. And earthquakes are can be very problematic. Just think about Haiti, what happened with Haiti, especially if the infrastructure is not there to support a city or a town when an earthquake occurs. So if, for instance, if the buildings are not up to code, that kind of thing. And then we have the two other boundaries, and there's something that happens there as well. And that would be volcanoes. Volcanoes happen at convergent and divergent boundaries. Okay? Now, kind of makes sense that these would happen there, that they form there. There are a bunch of different types of volcanoes. We're not going to go into that. Really, all you need to know is that volcanoes happen at convergent and divergent, and earthquakes happen at transform boundaries. And that volcanoes can cause a lot of, that's the way that we have islands form. Like Hawaii is still growing. Some of the islands on Hawaii are still growing because of volcanoes. All right, so that concludes this lesson. It's short and easy, breezy, and I hope you guys got something out of it. And if you didn't, or if you have questions, you guys can hit me up on my email, and I'll make sure I can respond to you as soon as possible. Okay, have a good day. Peace out, Girl Scout.